What's up, guys? This is Vaughn from Simply Hawkward Games, and today I kind of felt like talking about Max Landis' American Alien comics. Lots of people might not know what they are. I was turned on to them just because I'm a massive fan of Max Landis. He's one of my favorite screenplay writers. He's just fantastic. He's one of my favorite writers altogether. I love his stuff. Victor Frankenstein wasn't too good, but from what I understand, not really his fault. So, but back to American Alien. It is about Superman. Now, lots of people can say they don't like Superman, or he's a bland character, he's boring and everything like that. And I can honestly tell you that this isn't, it's a reimagining of Superman that actually makes sense. It's not about it's not just about Superman punching the shit out of stuff. It's not even really about Superman. It's more about Clark finding his way and becoming Superman. And he's not really a, Superman. He's not what you think he is. I mean, he can only fly so fast. He, isn't completely invulnerable. Stuff like that. Lobo beats the shit out of him for a second. He breaks his nose with a gunshot wound. There's all sorts of really interesting stuff in these that Max brought from, enjoying Superman when he was a kid. And then the whole Death and Return of Superman video, which if you guys haven't seen it, you need to watch it. It's fantastic. And then just everything, it kind of you could definitely feel that he translated in that all those emotions into a character that he actually enjoyed as a kid and everything. This is the Superman that he actually wanted to see. Today I'm going to be talking about not just the comic, but also my favorite Superman. Max Landis' Superman is actually one of my favorites. I love the universe that he has built around it. I think it's really nice. This Clark is kind of he's less of a just Superman. He's more just Clark Kent trying to do some shit to help people. I mean, most of these comics actually don't even feature him doing anything really super. There's one where he just parties on a boat the whole time as Bruce Wayne, just because he wants to get away from what his life is, getting away from being that farm boy with superpowers and the alien. I just think that's so interesting, and Batman ends up tracking him down in the next issue over it. It's super awesome, or I mean way later. It's not the next issue, but it's just so interesting to watch what a fan could make. I love fan-made stuff. It's just so fantastic. I mean, the original writers, yeah, they have a direction with, they have a direction where they want their hero to go, but there always is, this constraint of continuity and everything like that, and having to, if you wanted to, I mean, it's nice to have fan service. It's nice to be recognized as fans and, you guys making something that we enjoy. But that's why it's so nice when fans make things, is because they know what they want in it. They're oh yeah, Superman's ridiculously OP. I'm going to make him way less powerful. I'm going to make him just where he has to use his intelligence to get through battles more than just punching the shit out of stuff. I mean, that's just kind of ridiculous. I'm pretty sure if I can remember right, there is Parasite in these comics, and Superman doesn't just punch the shit out of him because he knows it's a bad idea. It's just so interesting, and I really enjoy it. I mean, some of my favorite Superman, Max Landis' Superman, is one of my favorites. But then there's also, if you guys have ever watched, I believe it's the original Justice League or it's Justice League Unlimited. They're both on Netflix. You can easily watch them. While you're there, watch Stranger Things. Great show. I just finished it last night. It was fantastic. But, you can watch these episodes on there. There is an episode where Superman essentially gets, I think it's the Toymaker or something like that. He uses essentially what he thinks is a beam that incinerates stuff to transport Superman into the future, which is really interesting. And Batman knows the whole time that Superman's not dead. Everybody thinks he's oh god, the Superman is dead, and everybody's oh no. It's really intense. It's kind of like the ending of Batman v Superman. But basically, Superman ends up just going to the future, and it's a future with a red sun. Now, if you guys don't know anything about Superman, the reason he has his powers is because we have a yellow sun. It's the different types of radiation. He essentially feeds on the radiation from our sun. It powers up his cells and all that good stuff. If you guys have ever watched All-Star Superman, it's really good. He gets too close to the sun. His cell starts bursting because he's got just way too much power. It's really interesting. These animated movies are just fantastic. You guys definitely need to watch them. I mean, there are a few that fall off the edge and they're just not as good. But these ones, they're just fantastic. All-Star Superman, great. But, this future has a red sun, and Superman essentially has to survive in a planet that's just completely desolate, only using his, like, basically his will and his fucking, like, intelligence, which I think is great because Superman has never had to use his intelligence to do anything. He was always the punch the shit out of him. What do you do when Doomsday shows up? Not do anything special. Fucking punch the shit out of him. That's what you do. Like, why? Why was that ever an issue? Like, fucking throw a kryptonite spear from halfway around the world. I don't know. Like, Max Landis brings it up in The Death and Return of Superman that Batman could have beat Doomsday. He would have known how to, like almost any other superhero. I bet Booster fucking Gold could beat him. You know what? He would fucking just, like, toss him in space or some shit. And it wouldn't even be that. He would just, like... It's ridiculous. There's just so much stuff. Like, who the fuck has a fucking boxing match with something that's just as strong as you? Like, that's just... it's ridiculous. But Superman actually has to use his intelligence to survive on this planet. He, like, beats the shit out of these red wolves. Like, whacks the shit out of their alpha and then takes care of the rest of them. And he's like, boom, you guys are my sled dogs now. It's really interesting. And, like, I'm pretty sure he kills the alpha because after that he wears, like, a fucking cloak of its, like, hide. It's really weird. But essentially, like, he finds Vandal Savage, and Vandal Savage, like, helps him go back in time. Turns out Vandal Savage, like, if you guys don't know anything about Vandal Savage, he, there's, like, a couple different origin stories, but in some of them, he, like, essentially was a caveman who, like, slept next to a fucking meteor, and the radiation made him immortal. Like, all sorts of different stuff. Some Egyptians gods, like, bleh. So much stuff about each one of these characters. It's the only thing that sucks about continuity and reboots is that there's just so much shit you gotta know about these. But Vandal Savage is an immortal. He ends up being the person who makes the sun red, which fucks over Superman. Like, he did it all just for that. And in the end, he actually helped Superman get back to his time. Like, and I just think that's so great because not only do you see Superman being just a normal person, you see fucking Vandal Savage, the dick of dicks. You see that guy being a normal person. Like, he actually understands and, like, has remorse. That's what I love when, like, heroes and villains, well, not really here. Actually, yeah, I do enjoy it. When either side goes, like, full circle and they just really they really understand, like, what they have to do. It's just so interesting, like, in Flashpoint, when Thomas Wayne is actually the Batman, he just fucking offs people and shit. He's like, yeah, I know. I'm fucking using guns and shit. Pow, pow, bang, bang, what's a hang, you know? It's like all sorts of awesome stuff. But there's so many great versions of Superman out there where he isn't just, like, punching the shit out of stuff. I mean, Superman has always been kind of a bland character, but you can always make him interesting. And that's kind of what I'm trying to say in this video, is that Superman can be an interesting character, seemingly when made by fans. When you understand what people want with that character, instead of, like, just fucking making him punch stuff. I want to see a Superman that has absolutely no powers, or he has very little powers. Like, I want to see a Superman who, just like that one, has to survive on an Earth with a red sun. Like, any of these things. I want him to actually do something. I want him to get trained by fucking Batman so he's, like, unstoppable. I want him to be just anything but what he is right now, because Superman being the All-American Boy Scout, I love Superman, but that's why I find Superboy so much more interesting. Any incarnation of Superboy is because he's always, like, half Kryptonian, half human, or, like, he's just not as powerful as Superman, but gets out of pretty much the same shit. Like, Superboy knows how to do it. He actually has to use his intelligence and ingenuity, and he has to have friends. I mean, who would have thought friends would help out? I mean, sure, Superman's got the freaking Justice League, but 90% of the time when Doomsday pops up, he's like, don't worry, guys. I got this. And then he just fucking boxes him. It's ridiculous. Superman just gets me riled up. I used to not like Superman because I was like, oh, little bitch who's allergic to a rock. And then I kind of got into him a little bit more. And I really do enjoy Superman. Enjoy Superboy more. But Superman is really awesome. That's about it for this video today. Basically, summing up what I just said in that really weird rant is that there are good incarnations of Superman, so don't just give up on that character altogether just because some people say he sucks. There's just so many great versions of Superman. In the end, like, Superman is kind of a bitch. I mean, there's lots of, like, interesting things. I think there's a channel called Evil D or something like that who actually talks about this interesting story about Superman and kind of like the Ultra Sphinx and stuff like that. It's really interesting, but I won't get too far into it. If you guys like this video, make sure you like it down below. Click the like button, which I'm probably pointing at the wrong part of the screen, but whatever. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button to get all sorts of upcoming content about comics, movies, games, and more. See how I just did that instead of trying to say everything because I'm ridiculous. And make sure you guys comment down below. Let me know how I'm doing, what you guys want to see in these videos, what you want a topic to be. Literally anything. Anything. I don't care what you put in there. Just put anything. As long as it's civil. Because, yeah, shit can get out of hand in YouTube comments. Not in mine, because nobody comments. But, yeah, trying to change that. And make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at Simply Hawkward. You guys can literally talk to me about anything on there either. Like some fucking comics, movies, books, whatever. I don't care. All sorts of good stuff. And that's about it for me today. I hope you guys have a great day.